It is important to commit the time, talent, and resources to understand the pathway to wealth. There are only a few pathways to wealth, and when you take that time out to understand each of these pathways, it is this and only this that will quicken your step to be able to build up wealth. In our 10x Wealth Leadership Bootcamp, we introduce you to those pathways. For example, you learn about the job seekers and the 1% of the job seekers who are likely to attain wealth from the type of jobs that they're doing. We certainly will examine the best jobs that will enable you to attain wealth. We will also examine smart investment uh, possibilities because this is another path, invest in portfolios. It is important for you to understand what to invest in and how to invest on those platforms. And the last but not least that we will look at in the 10x Wealth Leadership Bootcamp is business model and how the right type of business can position you to attain wealth. So it's important that as you start to embark on a process to build wealth, to take that time to understand the pathways to wealth. And I'm happy again to say to you that our 10x Wealth Leadership Program is the program for you. So whether you have a business and you want to scale that business, you want to 10x the income potential of that business. So whether you're a private individual and you want to take your active and passive income to another level, this is the program for you. Now, when we introduced the 10x Wealth Leadership Bootcamp to you a little while ago, we clearly stated to you that this program stands on two pillars plus one. Now, let me explain this. We talked to you about the wealth love language. We talked to you about the leadership love language, and we talked to you about the income audit analytics. And understanding these three platforms are absolutely when you are attempting to position yourself to build wealth. As we look at the wealth love language, we introduce you to three important financial platforms. One, we look at the DCM, the debt capital market. We looked at the ECM, the equity capital market. And the last one that we started to look at is the SCM, the smart capital market or the beginner's financial market. Now, the beginner's financial market is the market that most people do not know, understand, or even talk about. And it's obviously why you don't talk about this market much. Our 10x Wealth Leadership Program have made a decision to build out an entire content surrounding the smart capital market or the beginner's financial market. Why? Because the moment you learn about this market and how to leverage this content, it will make a tremendous difference in your life. Remember again at our programs, the programs that we design at Global Capital Inc., such as the 10X Wealth Leadership Program, our primary concern here is not only to roll out classroom training, but it's to transfer a body of knowledge to you via social media and classroom training. But in transforming this body of knowledge to you, our key focus here also is to ensure that you internalize this information in order to apply the information. And as you apply the information, is to ensure that you get results. So we have a team of mentor and coaches and support network to ensure that you fully understand the learning concepts, to ensure that you are applying the learning concepts, and to ensure that you are getting results from the learning concepts that we have designed for you. Now, we begin this program by identifying three important tenets for you to understand when you're attempting to access or leverage the smart capital market or the beginner's financial market. And those three tenets that we looked at, one, we talk about target market analytics. Two, we talk about value proposition analytics. And three, we spoke about team dynamics analytics. Absolutely important for you to understand each of these tenets as you begin to implement a process to access smart capital market. If you can recall a quick recap, in the first episode, as we look at the smart capital market, we begin by looking at target market analytics. We talk about the speculative data analytics, we talk about secondary data analytics, and we talk about primary data analytics. And the last program, we emphasize the importance of going deep into primary data analytics. Today, I want us to examine the second tenet of this program, which is value proposition analytics. And I want to promise you it's going to be a very exciting program. There are 7 tenets to the value proposition analytics. And over the next few days, we will examine each of these tenets to ensure that as you position yourself to access the smart capital market, to raise funds to be invested in your business or to be invested in some project, you know exactly the appropriate steps to take to achieve that. But just before we get into today's program, looking at the value proposition analytics, the 7 essential steps in the value proposition analytics, do permit me to introduce myself. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the multiple best-selling author for 7 books, including Manager's Toolkits and Billionaire Codes. My new book titled 10X Branding and Marketing will be out very soon. Now, for those who have not yet subscribed to this program, I want to encourage you to give it a like, give it a subscription, and share this program within your network so we can reach as much people as possible and try to lay that foundation where more people across the world understand financial intelligence and they can truly adopt this concept to achieve financial independence. Now let's get straight into today's program, and we are talking about smart capital markets. And today we'll be looking at things that you must consider when you're going into that market. Don't go to that market with your hands out. Go to that market with something to give. Don't go only thinking how much money you can gain from the market. Go with your value proposition. So today we're going to be talking about value proposition. Now, in most cases, when people talk about value proposition, it's only an abstract terminology. And you owe it to yourself to ensure that you can unlock all of the abstract and interpretation that is associated with your value proposition. You want your value proposition to be clear as a sunny day. It must be absolutely clear in the minds of the specific target market. Now let's go deeper into the belly of what is the value proposition. One of the first things that you must consider is what we call the brand intention value trait. How much do you know about the brand intention value trait? I'm going to just highlight the 7 important things for you to know as we talk about enhancing or developing your value proposition. The first thing is what we call the brand intention value trait. The second is called the brand expectation value traits. The third is what we call the value proposition goal setting. The third is what we call the value proposition game planning. The next is called the value control and management system. The value proposition game plan optimization systems. Last but not least, we will talk about the value proposition game plan systemization. Now, if you recognize, we have gone deep into this concept. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's about optimizing and systemizing your value proposition. By systemizing, it means You must have traceability. You must have transferability. You must have continuity with your value proposition. So this is how deep we have gone into this program, so as to ensure that at the end of the day, you know how to build out your value proposition. Now let's go into step one, which is the brand intention value trait. What exactly do we mean by the brand intention value trait? Yes, your brand must have intention. What I'm saying here is that your products or your services on offer must have clear intention. And those intention must be to add value and fix problems. So if you're going to the market to make money, one of the first things that you want to establish, what value can you clearly establish in the minds of the potential consumers to motivate them to want to respond to your products and your services. It is based on the brand intention value trait. It's based on your ability to clearly communicate the brand intention value trait that will allow you to be able to arouse or pique interest, arouse desire, get the specific target market into action. And once you get them into action and all being equal, you can now get them to become a consumer. Once they become a consumer of your brand, you now want to take steps where you can convert first-time users into lifetime customer. So a number of things has to be accomplished here. You must have a game plan to achieve that larger than life impact. So the first thing that we're looking at here is your brand intention value trait. Your brand must be developed to achieve this. You at the get-go, you want to be very clear on this. What is your brand intention? To add value and to fix problems. All right. In this case, when we talk about brand intention value traits, in the new book that is going to be coming out, we talk about it from three different perspectives. Your brand must be designed to have impact on the internal workforce because everything in relation to your company represents your brand. So the first place you want to have impact that is larger than life is on your internal workforce. The second place is your specific target market. The third is the general public because the general public might be the largest market that is the foreign persons to use your product based on how you position your brand in their minds. In this case, we are talking about you accessing the smart capital market. So you have to have something that the market needs and wants and perhaps expect to offer. And then you ensure that you understand their needs and building out your products and services to be able to satisfy their needs, wants, and expectation, you're most likely to get a positive public response. So the brand intention value trait is about you taking the time to clearly ask yourself, how do I want to impact the market? And ensure that you have a game plan to achieve the end results. And once you find that game plan, or you develop that game plan, you want to ensure that you have some system of optimizing that game plan so as to ensure that you add in value consistently. Why? Because the market is not static and your competition may come and do the exact same thing that you do. So you want to find a way to ensure that you're always optimizing it. And as you optimize it, you want to put your control and management systems in place. You want to put your systemizations in place as it relates to providing value, adding value, and fixing problems. The average person in business, they just sit down and create a unique selling proposition, their value proposition, but never take this time to go deep into the belly of that value proposition so as to ensure that when you deliver a product or you deliver a service, it is living up to the expectation consistently and is all set to deliver above the expectation, largely because you're looking at your optimization systemization. programs. You want to make impact on the market. You want to access the smart capital market. It's important for you to, first of all, identify the market needs, and then you build the value proposition to live up to their expectation. Yesterday, we looked at target market analytics. The reason we did target market analytics is to understand people needs, wants, and expectation. By understanding people needs, wants, and expectation, the next step is to be able to build your value proposition to match those expectations and perhaps go beyond their expectation. And this is what will give you the fighting chance to succeed when we implement that product, that service into the market and set the stage for you to achieve the financial objective. And once you achieve that financial objective, you can now invest that earning into your game plan. So you might have a business idea, but you're not raising capital from the DCM, you're not raising capital from the ECM, but you can leverage a smart capital market to achieve this. All right. So I'm going through this step by step. So today we simply look at value proposition analytics, and we look at 7 important tenets. Today we only look at one of those 7 tenets, which is the understanding your brand intention value. Right? It's important to understand your brand, understand the intention of your brand, and you must be able to list the value traits of your brand. And it is that is what you're going to be communicating to the general public, to the specific target audience, so as to ensure that you get specific target market buy-in and public buy-in to your products and services. Now, I trust that this information helped you today. This information that I've provided to you is not only applicable when you're attempting to access the smart capital market, it is also relevant to businesses across the world. The concepts, the ideas, the systems is 101% relevant to those markets. Jay, so same person. So have 20 minutes or call back in 20 minutes. So it's important to understand this and be able to apply these systems to you. Now, I want to pull today's program down, pull the curtain down on today's program. But in closing, I want to say that this program comes to you with the compliments of Global Capital Inc. And we are so happy to design this program to you. And do permit me to tell you a little bit about the vision, the mission behind Global Capital Inc. Our mission is to position our clients, employees, and strategic partners to understand, create, and leverage passive income cash flow, build multiple streams of income, leverage smart investment strategies in order to build generational and intergenerational wealth. In our program, you will learn about financial intelligence in the commercial financial sector, financial intelligence in the investment financial sector, financial intelligence and smart capital market, and financial intelligence for sustainable livelihood. It's important also for you to recognize that financial intelligence goes beyond your ability to make money and maximize your disposable income. It addresses the issue of understanding the global financial system and leveraging this intelligence to create good debt cash flow, minimize existing debt financial portfolio while you maximize financial and equity capital gain. The understanding of the commercial financial sector, the investment financial sector, and smart capital market are an important body of knowledge for you to have in the global landscape of financial intelligence. So I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, share this program. And remember, we're in a period of COVID-19, so I want to encourage you to be safe, protect those closest to you, your loved ones. And we look forward to see you in the next broadcast. Be blessed and see you on the other side.